Hello everybody, my name is Jeff Hayes and here's one on morphine. This is what they gave my mom and she was highly susceptible to it and it screwed her over bad. So what we're going to do is, morphine is a very serious drug. I've known that for years. It's part of in our med kit when I was in the military. They were warning us about it. You'll see here where it goes into certain things. Morphine, yes, can damage certain areas of the brain that regulate. It can do a lot of things that it shouldn't. That's why I don't understand why people use it so widely. And they don't take much care about giving it to elderly people. Because most of them I've talked to are in the same situation I am. They went into their parent or uncle or somebody went into the hospital here and they gave them morphine and they came back all messed up. My mom went from a functional adult to what she is in 4 days, and that's no lie. See, if you look up this where it says, does morphine destroy nerve endings in the brain, it just goes on and on and on. There's all kinds of stuff here. It goes into certain effects that morphine has, and yes, it can damage the brain. It can do a lot of things that are not very good, and why somebody would administer it to an elderly person that doesn't have any history of taking it, where they have a resistance to it. I have no idea. I think the doctor would be much more cautious. But if Jeff Nelson had known that my mom had an adverse reaction to certain medications, he may not have given her morphine. If her general doctor at the time, Bagder, had relayed that information to him, or maybe they had something else in plan. Because when I went to see my mom, pick her up and then take her to the appointment after the hospital visit, I cornered this guy, and he's telling me, yeah, he did a scan on her because she was acting funny when she came in. I let him weave his web, and then I said, you know what, guy? I live with my mom. We're roommates. I've lived with her since 2012. And I talked to her that morning, and she was fine. I said, I talk to her all the time. And what morphine does do is it damages in the brain that harms cognition. And that's, your cognates, your ability to reason, think, it does that. And that's what it did to my mom. Exactly. She also had to have physical therapy for both legs, not just, a hip procedure is like a outpatient thing. My mom, it totally just messed her up, and that was because of the morphine. Because they didn't pay attention when she's telling them, and I know she told them. She refused taking adult strength medications he'd prescribed, and he just didn't get it, or he didn't care. I think you'd have more care about your elderly patients. Okay, so it is morphine. I mean, it's serious, man. I wouldn't want nobody to give it to me. Because everybody has certain adverse reactions to certain drugs. I took a half a Sudafed once to clear up my sinuses, and I thought I was going to die. Yep, it does cause cognitive problems. And there's a lot of cases of it too. So you'd think a doctor or physician that would know this would be real susceptible not to give it to his elderly or older adults. It even states right here, if they're supposed to do it for pain relief, it states that they do it a little bit at a time to help the body build up resistance. Not to just wham her in the operation, in a procedure, to really give her the recommended her body weight's worth all at once. But again, Jeff Nelson may not have known she was had a adverse reaction to certain medications because it was probably never given to him. At the meeting, he finally got him to put it in her file. He didn't deny her not telling him. He just didn't care. He just seemed to me he didn't care. He was like, I'm a doctor. It's like, dude, that doctor doesn't mean nothing. It's how you treat your patients and how your success rate is. If you're just putting your patients in a convalescent home, you're not a very good doctor, are you? Or even if you're not doing it directly and you're not just passing on vital information and having other people do the work for you, that's just wrong altogether. So I don't blame this Jeff Nelson guy. He didn't know. He wasn't my mom's all-time doctor, her general physician, the main one. See, it even causes brain damage. Now, this is what goes on, but this morphine thing goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I just wanted to cue a few good parts. Now, if you read this what it says, a doctor you would think would be extremely careful about administering this to elderly adults. Maybe they're getting a kickback from the convalescent homes and can soak the insurance until the person finally dies. That seems cruel and unusual, but I'm pretty sure it's going on somewhere. Anything that involves money, people don't care. Especially if a doctor is diagnosed his patients being or having dementia, because if a patient complained, no one would believe them. They've got dementia. It sounds like to me an insurance scam, and here I'd believe it. So the doctor could diagnose somebody that doesn't care about their parents, have them put in a home, and then the doctor could have them called to the hospital for any exam they wanted, back and forth, and nobody would believe the patient. Such a perfect little medical setup. And harming elderly people just to make a buck is wrong. Harming elderly people is wrong, period. But we got a lot of greedy people. I know some of the judges are greedy. They accepted bribes, just to railroad me. They broke the Constitution, my constitutional rights, my civil rights. They broke Oklahoma law. They broke the oath of office that they filed. And here's adverse reaction to certain medications. This is what this means, and it can be serious. Now this is just a mild side effect, but it can be very bad if your physician, your doctor isn't paying attention when you say you have, because you may not know the medical terms, but you do know your family history, and that's what they try to tell you to tell them. But what good does it do to tell them if they're not going to pay attention? And they've got some other plan for you, since you're an elderly person on insurance. Got that Medicare, Medicaid. Now this guy, I've never trusted him from the first time I've talked to him. He just seems impersonal. He tries to act like he cares, but he won't admit anything. It's like, and he was telling me my mom's getting better every time I took her to see him, and I'm like looking at him like, better? I mean, she'll never be better. He knew I didn't like him. I made no secret that it was due to his negligence of not taking my mom serious that caused her problem. That for a fact. Because he should have told the doctor doing the procedure. He should have wrote it down in his folder, my mom's folder, and taken her more serious about it. But no, he was just going to diagnose her for dementia after the morphine screwed her head up, and they were all telling me, well, she's disoriented, she can't stay at home. And boy, it blew their minds when I said that we've been roommates since 2012, and I talked to her every day, and she's never like this. So it happened here when she was in your guys' care, And of course, that nobody wants to do anything. So here hence goes the videos. So take care of your elderly relatives, your loved ones, and just because somebody says they're a doctor or a judge, don't believe them. Check it out yourself. If you really care about your elderly loved ones, don't let them become victims. I hope, guys, this was informational, and we'll talk to you later.